Prince Harry just arrived in London looking like a shadow of himself. No smile, no entourage, and noticeably, no Meghan. Just Harry alone. Naturally, everyone's asking the same question. What happened? Why the sudden, unannounced trip? Made the man who turned his back on royal life rush back across the Atlantic? One word, Perry. Yes. Is that Perry Tyler Perry? The Hollywood mogul who offered Harry and Meghan a safe haven when the palace doors shut? The godfather to their daughter? Kay? The peacemaker during their royal fallout? And now, he's the one who may have accidentally ignited the latest firestorm. It started with a video clip. Just a snippet barely over a minute long, but enough to fracture the royal internet, and Harry, he wasn't ready. No PR team to clean it up, no legal strategy, no backup plan. The moment that video dropped, he was spotted at LAX wearing joggers and gripping his phone like it was the only thing keeping him grounded. But before we unpack what Meghan actually said in that recording, it's important to understand where it came from. This wasn't some polished, documentary-style moment prepped for PR. It was raw, intimate, and never meant for the public. A personal, diary-style video recorded months ago, well after the Oprah interview. The failed Spotify deal and the collapse of their Netflix run. It's just Harry and Meghan venting, processing, and according to insiders, starting to unravel. And in that moment, Meghan didn't hold back. She called her Duchess title the most expensive leash I've ever worn. Then came the gut punch. She allegedly said, if Harry wants to run back to his crown and his corgis, let him. I'm done babysitting a prince with no kingdom. Those weren't just words, that was a hammer drop. People who had always defended Meghan paused. Tone wasn't playful. It wasn't teasing. It was fadupe, cold, strategic, like someone who had already emotionally checked out and was simply waiting for the right moment to make it official. And Tyler Perry, a man who had every reason to protect them, chose to share it. That wasn't just drama. That was betrayal. Now, to be clear, Perry didn't blast the video to the press. He didn't sell it to a tabloid. Played it during a private, invite-only live stream. But someone screen recorded it. Once it leaked, there was no turning back. It spread like wildfire. TikTok, Twitter, late-night news segments. Every outlet picked it up, even the ones that usually stood by Meghan's side, because this wasn't hearsay. This wasn't some anonymous source. This was Meghan, on camera, saying the quiet part out loud. The fallout was immediate, within hours. The royal family had seen it. Sources say Tyler even gave them a heads up before the public got hold of it. Why? That's the real question. Was it damage control? A peace offering to the palace? Or his subtle way of saying, I'm done to Meghan? No one knows. But whatever his reason, it was enough to send Harry into full-blown panic mode. He had been in California the night the clip dropped. Photos had just come out of him playing Dad of the Year at a polo match with Archie. But by morning, he was gone. Private jet. Destination, London. Solo, no Meghan. Just a man running. And when he landed, the silence was deafening. There was no welcome party, no royal aides, just a long-lens camera catching Prince Harry with hunched shoulders and a clenched jaw. Whatever was in that leaked tape, it wasn't just embarrassing, it was deeply personal. And Harry looked like he was carrying the weight of all of it alone. Royal insiders didn't waste any time. The moment his flight touched down, quiet calls began behind palace walls. No public statements, no scheduled meetings, just whispers and movement. Clarence House kept the lights on, but the doors remained closed. Kensington Palace was ice cold. William reportedly refused to alter his royal itinerary, even after being briefed on Harry's arrival. As for King Charles, he offered only a phone call. That was it. No motorcade, no private dinner, no face-to-face invitation, just one call. Take it or leave it. But Harry hadn't flown 5,000 miles just to make a phone call. He checked into one of the lesser-known royal estates, far from London's flashing cameras. It was the kind of place used for damage control, not reconciliation. Sources close to the palace say it wasn't his decision. It was a soft exile. Way to keep him close, but not too close. Because make no mistake, this wasn't a family reunion. This was triage. A man trying to patch up what's left of a broken legacy. The real sting? That tape wasn't new to the palace. They had already seen it. Tyler Perry had given them an advance copy, or at least the same leaked clip that went viral. Public was still reacting in real time. Charles and William had already watched it, made their judgments, and decided their next moves. One aide described Charles as deeply hurt, which in royal language means he was absolutely furious but trying. To stay composed, William, however, wasn't pretending. He reportedly told someone on staff, "I made my choice in California. Let him lie in it." That wasn't just bitterness, that was closure. As far as William is concerned, the chapter is over. Oh, but for Harry, the panic is real. And this isn't just about public image, it's about reputation inside the very walls that raised him. Because that line, "a prince with no kingdom," wasn't just a jab. It was an unraveling. A confirmation of every suspicion, every rumor, every warning the royal family ever tried to give him. And the worst part, Meghan hasn't said a word. Not to the press, not on social media, not even through back channels. No damage control, no denial, not even a carefully worded Instagram story with soft font over a neutral background. Just complete silence. And for someone as media savvy as Meghan, that silence is deafening. People close to her say she's distancing herself, that she's letting Harry handle his own narrative. But insiders are reading between the lines. She's backing away, letting the fallout unfold, because if the relationship is cracking, the last place she wants to be is standing in the middle when it shatters. Tyler Perry hasn't denied anything. Either when asked directly about the clip, he didn't dodge. He simply said, "Sometimes the truth speaks for itself." That's not a man covering his tracks. That's a man making a statement. A man who once gave Harry and Meghan everything. Privacy, protection, a home. And now, he's letting the truth hang in the air like smoke from a slow-burning fire. Hollywood sources say Perry was done months ago, that he felt used. That Meghan kept pushing for favors, introductions, access. And Perry, a man who built his empire from the ground up, doesn't do fake loyalty. Gave them grace. They gave him pressure. So when things got transactional, Perry hit record. Not to go public, but to keep receipts. Now the whole world has seen them. What Harry does next isn't just about saving face. It's about survival. Because this isn't just a bad headline or a PR blunder. This is a fracture on camera. A woman showing the world what she really thinks, and a man realizing it might all be slipping through his hands. No one at the palace is rushing to schedule a sit-down. There are no flowers waiting in the hallway, no warm cups of tea in the drawing room, and no advisors whispering about reconciliation. Harry's name isn't on any official guest list. And for the first time in his life, he's not being treated like a royal visitor. He's just visiting, quietly, like a man who knows he might not be welcome anymore. Photographers, camped outside the estate, managed to get a few shots of Harry walking the grounds alone, phone in hand, head down, and notably, no ring in sight. That last detail didn't go unnoticed. Social media picked it apart instantly. Theories exploded. Is he still married? Is this a trial separation? Is Meghan already halfway out the door, and the silence only made it worse? When a narrative vacuum opens, the internet fills it fast. But here's the part that's really haunting people. The tape didn't just reveal Meghan's frustration. It exposed Harry's isolation. The way she spoke about him didn't sound like a teammate or a partner. It sounded like someone who had already emotionally exited the building. Like a woman making peace with leaving behind the man she once defended at all costs. Royal analysts are already calling it one of the worst PR blows in modern monarchy history, because unlike the Oprah interview, the book, or the podcast, this wasn't curated. It wasn't framed. It was raw. And it showed something no press release can fix. A relationship that looks hollow at its core. Meanwhile, inside royal circles, the tone has shifted from cautious optimism to firm detachment. William's team has gone completely quiet, not in a worried way, but in a final way. They're done making space for Harry at the table. No olive branches, no Zoom calls, no plans to loop him into future engagements. This isn't a timeout till it's an unplugging. King Charles, though more restrained, isn't bending either. He's made it clear. There will be no emergency talks, no soft reunions for the cameras. Monarchy has learned from the past 5 years. The goal now is to protect the institution, Not one rogue family member clinging to the edge. And the public, they're not picking sides anymore. The sympathy has dried up. People who once backed Harry now shrugged. He knew what he was doing. He chose that life. He got played. That's the new tone. Even the harshest tabloids don't need to fabricate drama. Harry and Meghan delivered it themselves. Tyler Perry's move has also sent shockwaves through Hollywood. He was one of the last high-profile figures publicly supporting them, and now he's out quietly, but clearly. Insiders say he felt pushed too far. Repeated asks for production favors, name drops in meetings, expectations without gratitude. The Godfather title was symbolic, but what Tyler got back was strategy, not sincerity. Tyler doesn't do fake. So where does this leave Harry? Trapped. If he stays loyal to Meghan, he risks total exile. His family is gone, his public image is crumbling, and even his titles are reportedly being quietly reviewed by royal advisors. But if he breaks from Meghan publicly, or even subtly, he sets off a different kind of war. One Meghan won't take lying down. She has a microphone, she has a following, and she's not afraid to reframe the story. If Harry flinches, she could flip the script, cast herself as the victim again, and make sure he takes the fall. Either way, he loses. And maybe that's the cruelest part of all. After everything, the interviews, the fallout, the isolation, Harry's left with no kingdom, no clear allies, and no real control over his own story. The man who wanted to escape, the palace now finds himself in a prison of his own making. And this time, there's no gate to climb over, just silence and consequences.